Good morning, everybody. Welcome to MarketStream.live. It is July 11th. Man, time is flying, and you are watching the overnight action report. Now, the reason why we take a look at the Asian markets, this sets the tone for the remainder of the trading day for all of us here at MarketStream. So that's why we take a look at this action, and it was quite a mixed bag overnight. Let's jump in and take a look at, first of all, just the emerging market segment alone. Taking a look at EEM. Now, folks, the reason why I bring this up is EEM is an ETF that you can use to track Asian stocks, Australian stocks. These are stocks that are in markets that are emerging. These economies could be on the pace to become real strong growth economies, and so they are traded in the EEM. EEM right now is trading above its 20-day moving average. And the reason why I bring this up is to give you all context. If you just go put a chart and you basically put a 20-day, a 50-day, and a 200-day moving average, you can use those for support if the stock is or the underlying is trading above, or resistance if they're trading below. That also gives you an idea of who's in control. Now, right now, the bulls were in control for most this year, but it's basically in a neutral stance. There is no opinion about the emerging markets right now. A break above this 20-day moving average means short-term bulls. Individuals that think that the market's going to go up in the short term, they're starting to place their opinion, and it's moving to the upside. But you can see it's tried to do that a few times over the last couple of months and has been unsuccessful. So not a lot of catalyst. I expect about a 2% or 1.5% range for the next 10 days in the emerging markets. Now, taking a look in Asia overnight, Nikkei finished up 114 points. This was an impressive move after settling above the 20-day moving average. The bulls started taking advantage. And there's a couple catalysts here. One is, and this is the one that is most notable when I look at if the underlying in the Nikkei in Japan is performing well, that means that most likely their currency is weak. In other words, the yen. You see that this is a US dollar yen pair. If the dollar is increasing in value and the yen's going down, this means that that market's going to be trending to the upside. And you can clearly see for the last basically 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, the yen has been just pulling back, which is a positive for potentially for equities in Japan. You've also seen, though, some political volatility picking up. Prime Minister Abe, currently right now, his approval ratings are the lowest that they've ever been at 36%. He is in the process of making some shifts and changes in his cabinet that might be from a political perspective, and tame or quiet some of the political uncertainty and climate in Japan. EWJ right now is trading at 52.84. It is down below its 20 and 50-day moving average. That's pretty notable. Watch this one closely. Even though the Nikkei is trading up, the stocks that represent the EWJ, the ETF that tracks Japan, is trading to the downside. Right now, I am seeing some interesting action. For example, Toshiba. Toshiba right now, it looks like Western Digital, WDC, right now has a counter offer in to buy their flash memory unit. This should be interesting. Watch WDC as it trades today. But the EWJ ETF, let's see if that bounces back, challenges that 50-day moving average, which comes in at 53.28 on the price level. That would be a pretty decent move. Right now, as far as EWJ is concerned, I'm only seeing about a 0.6% move being priced in either up or down right now in the underlying. That basically you're looking at right around 45 to 50 cents being priced in. So we'll see if that actually transpires. Switching gears, let's take a look at China. Now, the mainland in the Shanghai Composite, that trade to the downside, and it happened late in the session. It was an interesting move. Now, the Shanghai Composite has been moving to the upside pretty nicely. The economic data, the political uncertainty, but what we did see is it's coming up on tax time there. And what's notable is the People's Bank of China actually came out for the first time in 2 weeks and infused capital. They injected about 40 billion yuan into the system. And so it's very interesting. There was the perception that they were hoarding cash in front of this tax time. But the bottom line is that you saw that injection. That came not soon enough into the system. The market pulled back. You are seeing that FXI. Let's see if it's challenged this morning. It is trading right at its 50-day moving average. Now, this is an ETF that tracks the 30 largest large cap stocks in China. Let's see how that reacts for the in our session here in the United States. Taking a look, though, in Hong Kong, we saw a mirror reaction. Because of the infusion, you saw that Hong Kong, and specifically financial names in Hong Kong, really started to skyrocket, finished up 377 points, blew through its 20-day moving average. We really have a lot of momentum. This was the strongest performing index in Asia. Take a look at EWH this morning. Let's see how this actually performs. It's been below its 50-day moving average. Let's see if after this performance, the infusion of capital by the government, that really was a catalyst for a large segment of the Hang Seng, which is the Hong Kong market. Let's see if that gets EWH, which trades here in the States. That's the ETF that trades Hong Kong stocks. Let's see if that gets it on the move. Taking a look at India and the Sensex. India basically finished at all-time highs, at record highs. It did pull back a little bit into the close, but finished up 31. India has been the strongest performing market in Asia. If you take a look at EPI, EPI is trading in a similar trend. This is an ETF that tracks the Indian market, so if you want to look for exposure, it's very difficult to say if you're looking for a long exposure to your portfolio at all-time highs, at all-time record highs, to be buying it. But right now, if you look at EPI, not a lot of volatility, so there's not an expectation of huge violent moves, either up or down. About a 2% range for the next 2 weeks being priced in. So pretty decent in the $25 ETF. All right, folks, that's it for right now for the overnight action report. I'll be back taking a look at everything that's going on in Europe. Interesting sessions that are setting up today, both in Europe and in Asia. So let's see what's coming on here at MarketStream.live. See you in about 15.